Ah, d'accord, super, magnifique. Yes, it works. Okay, hi everybody. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to talk about the host project. I'm Yassin Rekik, professor at HEPIA, School of Engineering in Geneva. So this project is a collaboration with the Hôpital Universitaire de Genève, HUG, and non, j'aime pas. Ah, je déteste. Ok, mais je déteste ça. It's okay?
Non, il faut être au micro.
Okay, so it's okay. Okay, so again, thank you for inviting me to present the host project. My name is Yassin Rekik, and I will present this collaboration with the Hôpital Universitaire de Genève. The project is aiming to develop a solution for human skills training for medical staff. So the idea mainly is to enhance for medical staff communication, team working, and stress management. So it has nothing to do with expertise in medicine. It's really for human skills within a hospital. Okay, so the situation now is that in the HIG is Hôpital Universitaire de Genève, HIG, they have already one training made by classical, based on a well-known solution for staff training, and this solution is now deployed 1 or 2 times per year using real actors. So the idea is to put participants in a stressful situation, and the situation is a childbirth in an airplane. So they simulate a plane with seats and hublots, etc., and they create really the decor, and they put the participants in this situation. They present them a video to present the situation. You are coming back from a conference in Thailand, I think, or yeah, I think it's Thailand, from Bangkok, etc. And within the flight, there is a woman that will give birth to a child, and this stressful situation, there is 4 to 5 participants that have to solve it, and to be able to help this woman to give birth, they need to solve 3 enigma in order to get her medical information and to get 2 necessary instruments. So all this exists already. It works good, but the problem that there is some issues. The first one, after several study and feedback collected from participants, we noticed that people focus more on enigmas and games, and they forget the woman in many times. So they forget the purpose, the real purpose of and they just focus on gaming. There is a very low immersion because even they have a nice decor, etc., is still a decor, and if we see around, you can see that it's a decor, so there is very low immersion. There is also no way to communicate with the participants except by interrupt the simulation and talking to them, and this is also very bad for the immersion because there is a lot of interruption by the moderator. And of course, the last issue is that in this classical solution, there is no way to have any help for the debriefing after that. So there is no support for the debriefing. We have to take note on paper or to memorize what happens. There is nothing better than that. So our mission by collaborating with these teams is to solve all these problems. And to solve all these problems, we have proposed an immersion solution, a mixed reality-based solution. So the idea is that participants, from 2 to 4 participants, will have a HoloLens, a Microsoft HoloLens, in order to be immersed in a real plane. Okay. Of course, they will see other actors, or we can simulate actors. We have the both direction. We are working on both direction. But to be honest, for now, we don't have virtual actors. We have only real one, but we can see them and they are immersed in the plane. So we worked on that, and we transformed all the decors and actors, etc., to virtual ones. Of course, people have a higher immersion. We also create so with the virtual setting, we are able to have a lot of enigma. We are not constrained with 2 or 3 because of the physical constraints and logistics. We can create as much enigma as we want because they can be virtual. Also, we have created a tool for the moderator in order to discuss indirectly with the participants without interrupting the simulation. So they just have a board tool allowing them to send message, vocal or textual, to rise or trigger some events in the simulation, to give them some hints. So, for example, don't forget to do that, or you are losing time, etc. So all this communication now is made without interruption and by communicating directly with the HoloLens. So the tablet for the moderator communicate automatically with the HoloLens of the participants. And finally, we have also all this communication and everything performed by the participants is now stored. So all the video streams and all the discussion and all the notes taken by the moderators are stored. And at the end of the simulation or the session, the moderator can generate video-based debriefing or PDF document for debriefing. And this is a good help for them to be a base for the debriefing and for the discussion, and also to see it afterward, because sometimes we need to see what happens before to make comparison, to see if there is any improvement or not, etc. So the architecture, I will not go. Okay. So I will not go very deep into details, but just to explain you the solution now. So the solution now is multi-users. It's a multi-users game developed by Unity. And these games has 2 main tools. The first one is running on HoloLens, okay? And these tools on the HoloLens allows participants to be, as I said, immersed in the plane, to communicate with others, and to try to solve all the enigma proposed virtually in the scenario. At the other hand, there is another tool, which is the monitoring and debriefing tool, which will be used by the moderator. And as I said, this tool allows for the moderator to have many capability. I think I will list them after that. No. So the moderator can do a lot of things. First, he can see all the view streams of participants, because the participants are wearing HoloLens, so the moderator cannot see exactly what they are seeing or watching. So the idea is to have on the moderator tool the video stream of all the participants. We have also another video stream capturing the whole scene. So we have a webcam, a general stream allowing to see what happens in general, not for each participant. Second. Third, as I said, the monitor can send message to all participants or to one specific participant. So he can select to broadcast for all, or he can select one participant and send him a message without interrupting the simulation, without losing immersion. And this message can be vocal or it can be textual. Third, we have also the possibility, as I said, to rise or to trigger some events into the simulation. So let me give you one example. So for example, if the participants do well and have good progress, the moderator can, within the simulation, try to enhance the stress. So what he can do is to add some stressful events. So for example, the captain of the plane can come and say something. We have to land in 5 minutes. We have no carburant or whatever. So of course, all these these events are pre-defined and pre-recorded, but it's up to the moderator to raise them and to trigger them whenever he considers that it can bring something. So this is events. And there is another kind of events which are hints, helps. So if the opposite situation, if the team is not performing well, what we can do is to give them some hints. So for example, for one enigma, we can give them one indication, see in this bag, go to the back of the plane, it can help you. Something like this in order to avoid stagnation or to avoid demotivation, so he can. So the moderator can do all these actions without interruption and without losing any immersion. And at the same time, the moderator can take notes, okay? And what is helpful is all these notes he takes or all the comments he is taking are stamped, are time stamped. So when we generate the debriefing after that, we can see that this note corresponds to or is matching with this situation in the scene. So we can justify why we have this note or this comment, etc. So everything is time stamped. At the end, as I said, at the end of the simulation, the moderator can generate, first he can save and store all the session and all the streams, etc. And then he can generate a debriefing media. It can be video or PDF files. He can generate both. And the debriefing is that we will take any events, any hints, and any notes, and we will add to it few seconds before and few seconds after. Because the idea is not to review all the session. The session can have a duration of 1 hour, 1 hour and a half, but sometimes. So the idea is not to have all these. The idea is to have only important events and to have few seconds before, few seconds after to have the context. So all these have been developed using this architecture. So as you can see, we have the moderation tool, we have the participants, and between them we have developed a media server which is responsible of storing all the streams of video and to manage the communication between both of them. Okay, so I think the best way to have an idea and a feeling of the application is to see a little bit. It's not a demo, it's my students and my assistants. They film themselves with their family using the tool, because until now we haven't yet tested with real medical stuff, okay? This is supposed to be done, in fact, we have planned to do it months ago, but with the COVID, etc., it has been delayed, so we hope we can test it in September. So, Si tu peux passer la vidéo. Thank you. Okay, so this is the idea. So as you can see, the participants are wearing HoloLens, but this is the moderator. So the moderator first have to set the simulation because the tool can work with many settings and many simulation. Of course, we have developed now only one, which is childbirth on a plane, but we can imagine other situation. So he have to register all the participants. This is all the HoloLens that will participate, and we need some mapping and some configuration at the starting of the simulation. Okay, so this is something we have to do in order to have all the HoloLens mapped to the same 3D model, and then any participant will see. Okay, so now we will add the participants. Okay, give them some name, etc. This is the second participant. We can go from 2 to 4. We can go more than 4, but we have noticed that performance degrades drastically after 4 participants. So this is what the participant can see. And as you can see, sometimes he can get a message from the moderator. So the moderator takes the message here. He's seeing the global context and all the video streams of participants, and he can send him messages to encourage him, to give him hints, etc. Here he is triggering some events. So, for example, we don't have sound now, but in this case, this woman is screaming, etc. So it can
We've now reached our destination.
etc.
We hope you enjoyed the flight and have a nice day.
This is the captain speaking. Okay, this is to give examples of some hints. So, for example, here there is an enigma to solve a directional cadenas, etc. So we can give him hints in order to say, yeah, look in this bag, or go there, etc. Okay, and as I said before, what is very nice in this application is that there is no interruption. The simulation is continuing, and we can discuss with all the participants. So here it's the tool to take notes, etc. Okay. Of course, the moderator can have as main stream one participant or the global camera. It's up to the moderator to select the stream he wants to see. So now it's the end of the simulation. Okay, so he can adjust some commands, some notes he take, and at the end he saves the simulation. So first we can see this simulation next time, and he can also generate streaming. So as you can see, we will generate automatically a video reporting the main events and the main actions within the simulation. And of course we can save them, we can delete them, etc. We have all the management we can see. This is a PDF version of the simulation. Yeah, here we have all the stored simulation we have performed before. Okay, I think it's okay to just to have a feeling of the application. And now, before the question, only to conclude. So currently we have a solution working with Unity, HoloLens 2 version. As I said, the solution now is working with 2 to 4 participants. Theoretically, we can have more, but practically, I think it's our media server which is not capable to manage more than 4 streams, 5 streams in parallel, etc. So we limit to 4 participants. We can have more participants real, but the people having the HoloLens only 4. The solution is working now, but we are limited to 1 scenario, 3 enigma within the scenario. So we have more or less reproduced the same things we had in real in the virtual world. But we have developed all the architecture and all the Unity application in order to be extensible and to have the possibility to create other decors, other hints, other enigma. So we are not limited to this idea of airplane childbirth. We can have, for example, people lost in a forest, or people locked in a room, or whatever. Any decor. Of course, we have to build the decor and to introduce it in the tool, but this is not a big issue, because all the mechanism have been developed in a generic way and will work with that. As I said, we have tested with people, with our families, assistants, staff. The doctor's team I am working with have also tested it, and they really appreciate it, and they have asked for funding from the Geneva Hospital funds in order to develop, let's say, a more packaged and professional version of these tools, but we are waiting for the answer. But as I said, we haven't not yet tested it with real participants, medical staff in the real situation, and it is supposed to be done in September or October, when the situation will be more cool, let's say. Okay, so this is the situation. Thank you for your interest and for hearing me, and I will be glad to answer questions if there is questions.
Thank you so much for your presentation. Is there a question in the audience?
Yeah.
Have you developed any other scenarios that will be appropriate for this?
As I said, not yet. We have developed the tools and the whole architecture in order to be extensible. So it will be relatively easy to have other scenarios. What we need is only to have the decors. So, for example, here we have the plane. We can move in the plane. We have mapped the plane, etc. So if we want to develop the same things in, let's say, a locked laboratory, for example, and we have to resolve enigma or to manage a medical urgency in a locked room, we have to create this room, to create the appropriate enigma, and then to introduce them in the tool. And this is not a very challenging stuff. Of course, it's not plug and play. It's not in 1 minute. But let's say it's a 2-3 days work, and we can have another scenario, because we have developed all the communication mechanisms and all the streams capturing, etc., in a generic way.
Il y avait une autre question tout au fond. Quelqu'un lève la main au fond? Oui. Et après,
The host control is clear, so you have an iPad where you can influence the scenario and everything, but what
It's not an iPad, but it can be. No, now it's a Google Samsung tablet.
that's all right, but how do the players, so the ones with the HoloLens, how do they control what is their input?
The players. No, the players have they cannot act on the scenario. The only things they can do is to resolve enigma in order to save the woman. This is the target. So what they can do is to point some stuff. For example, in order to resolve the enigma of the cadenas, they have directional cadenas. They have to unlock it. They have to see some indication in the back of some seats, or in the locks, or in under the seats, etc. And there is some messages that will be displayed for them, and they can click, point, etc. So they only act on some specific objects in the decor. They can act on it by pointing, etc. The HoloLens allows that by the ray casting, etc. But they cannot act on the scenario by itself. This is the role of the moderator. I don't know if I answered.
Yeah, so the player control is connected with the ray tracing of the mobile.
Yeah, and by hand also. You can point something by the hand, you can click, etc. In the HoloLens, there is some capability to interact with objects. It's possible. Thanks.
We
I
have
think
two
we have
questions
question here.
here. Maybe
For the moderator, who is this person? Is a person like Assunta? I can imagine that takes the role of moderator. Do you need some skills, special skills to use
What?
thing? Because you are a nurse or you are a
Yeah, yeah.
psychologist or something like that?
Okay. Now the situation is that the moderator are the creator of this program, really. So there are two doctors. In fact, Marie Sanfost, which I collaborate with, and another doctor also. Both of them are doctors at HIG, and they have the initiator of this initiative. So they took this idea of team building, etc., used in the in fact, at the beginning, let's say this training is based on a training performed for the airplane staffs, etc. So they take it and they transform it, they adapted this training to the medical staff, but to target the same objectives: staff building, stress management, communication, hierarchization of decision making, etc. So now the two moderators are these two doctors because they manage well the scenario. It's their baby, so they know. But I don't know if the idea after that, if we want to deploy these tools. Of course, in my opinion, the moderator must be the one who created the scenario, because you cannot moderate a simulation of something you are not, you don't master it and you don't create it. So I think, but yeah, I don't know if which skill we need. In my opinion, the only skills we need is that you are the creator of the scenario. So you master the scenario. You know if participants are progressing well or not, etc. So you can act on the scenario.
At some point in the scenario, we saw an event with a passenger doing something,
Yeah.
virtual agent. So to what extent are real actors actually necessary, or do you consider replacing real actors by virtual agents with data?
Yeah, so we have discussed a lot with the medical staff, and they said still having actors is something which is good.
Is there physical contact?
Yeah, if there is real actors, yes, there is a really real contact. So now, for example, what they use, even with the HoloLens, what is planned is to still have the woman, her husband, and the captain of the plane as real figurant actors. Why? Because we need to, even if we move, we have to come back to this woman. Also, the woman can make some stress by, as I said, screaming, saying something, being not cooperative, etc. And this is very difficult to do it virtually because we cannot have the real contact. But to simplify the logistics and the ability to run this simulation at any context, they also want to have another version where everything is virtual, even the woman, his husband, the captain, etc. But to be honest, this is not been it is not done yet. For now, it's a kind of mixture. We have the 4 participants, the plane, all the triggers, enigma, etc., but we still have the 3 actors.
And the actors, do they need the HoloLens?
No, 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 no. They have only to play their roles. So the husband, his role is to be stressed and perturbing everyone. The woman is to scream and to... and the captain is to come and to make a lot of announcement, making the stress higher or lower. It depends.
How does the moderator communicate with the actors to trigger?
This is the problem. We come back to the classical way. He have to speak and to ask, to come closer to the woman and ask him to scream, etc. There is also another things. The actor they are using now is also a medical staff, so they know very well the scenario, and sometimes they anticipate. They don't need even the moderator to ask them to do something. But I understand the question. The question is, we wanted to have a higher immersion with no interruption. If we want to reach that, we have to have everything virtual, or we have to have a solution with the actors. It can be, how we call the, a small hearing device in the ear or whatever, but we don't tackle this issue yet.
There is a question online from YouTube. Bjorn Marken wants to know what is your experience with HoloLens, and do you see this device getting better with time, or did you have problem with it? And a second question is, do you see this implemented in different spaces, as many people in different places around the world can play together? Thanks for the 2 questions.
Okay, thank you, Sam, and thanks for the question. The first one, HoloLens. Okay, HoloLens, it's let's say it's a big technical solution, really, because it's not easy to have ergonomic, usable devices allowing you to have the real world and to have good quality augmentation on that. To be honest, the HoloLens make it good. The HoloLens first version has a big issue, 2 big issues. The first one is the how we can call it, the range of the l'envergure, comment on appelle, how we call?
The line of sight?
Yeah, the line of sight were very reduced. We have 32-degree angle, so it is not enough to have augmentation around the participants. Microsoft made a big improvement, and the HoloLens 2 now is 56, which is more or less 56, yes?
It sells 56, but in practice it's more 42.
Okay, let's say we are progressing, and the quality, in my opinion, yeah, we don't reach something which is really immersive 100%, but the solution is encouraging, promising, and I think it's something we can work with it. The second issue with the interaction. With the HoloLens 1, interactions were very limited, only the click and the A direction. Now with the HoloLens 2, they added all the gesture interactions and also the ray casting, etc., so it's more powerful. So let's say in one word, it's not perfect, but it's something amazing. This is my opinion. Now for to have people working in different locations, in fact, in my case, this is not the target. The target is to have people working in a reduced space, because the idea is to be able to manage space, decisions, communications, touching, movement. It's part of the training, so it was not targeted, so this is why we didn't consider it at all. But technically, it's possible, because we can have people in many rooms, if they map what they see to the 3D models, they will see the same things, but they will not see the other participants, except if we create avatars for them. But this will make it much more complicated, and it's not for tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
We're gonna take a break of 15 minutes. I apologize if we don't have the next speakers online. We apologize for that. We're gonna take 15 minutes of break, and after we're gonna take the round table. Thank you so much.